Like I said, I'd never heard of Mount Shasta at all till I was on I-5 North. Had no idea this place existed. Didn't even know the town of Mount Shasta existed. Just thought it was a mountain, let alone that there, towns of weed in Mount Shasta and Dunsmuir right here. It's actually kind of nice. I mean, I wasn't here 10 minutes. I had work, 6-pack of beer, and a quarter of weed. I was getting dropped off by my ride over on North Shore at Lake Siskiyou to spend the night. That winter before I took off hitchhiking, I was 26, and that's where things were really going bad. Kind of thing where people are looking to break my legs because I owe money. Not like thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, but still, they're showing up to beat me up, and I'm hiding from them and stuff like that. And then that's where I was like, I just got to do something, get the fuck out of here. I just got to get the fuck out of Michigan. And I was at a Menards, home improvement center, which is, like Home Depot or Lowe's, just massive chain in the Midwest that way. Standing in the checkout lines, and wondering which way I'm going to go, just like when I move, where am I going to move to? And I look over and the new 2002 Road Atlas for Rand McNally's were out. I'm looking at the cover. I'm like, man, that sure looks like Mount Shasta. That sure looks a lot like Mount Shasta, but from the other side. I mean, you put that in a mirror, it's like, okay, that's the Mount Shasta side. And right there, that settled it. That was my sign. That was my sign. Got a little Ford Ranger towing a tool trailer because I did carpentry. And on the way out, transmission went in northern Iowa. I lost 2 days, waiting for that. And a chunk of my savings to fix the transmission to keep moving west. And I barely had gotten to, after it got fixed and I was in Nebraska, it started going again. And so when I was going through like Salt Lake City on those uphill passes, I was doing, about 30, 35 was top speed. And the flats going across Utah after I got out of Salt Lake City to Nevada on a hot August day, I was doing a cool 40, 45 top speed. By the time I even got to Reno, I think my top speed was 15, 20 miles per hour. It was about the best I could do. Nursed it all the way to Truckee. And then at Truckee, I could barely even get around that town at like 5, 10 miles per hour. I was down to first gear. Just could barely even just basically maintain momentum. Got to a U-Haul. Rented a U-Haul, basically the last of my money had left. Drove like 85, 90. I was passing everybody to get here. I just drove over some big old fucking craters. But I was getting ready. I was getting ready. Do the shoulder grab before you fell out. Just moments where I've had grounds crew yelling at me for doing donuts down a wet downhill. Kobe. He was the coolest dog ever. The dog was so mellow. Women traveling by themselves after meeting him ignored everything Dad taught them about picking up a fucking stranger, hitchhiking. He got me rides. Unfortunately, I had to put him down in 07. He died of pancreatic cancer. Just got tore up. Lost half his weight. It was one of the hardest days of my life, actually. Oh, real good onion. Can usually go a couple without crying, but that's a good one. Good onion. Oh, go right. We got 4. I just did that yesterday. Figured if I ever made it to 40, I'd become a responsible adult and start a business. So I did. Oh, shit.
Had you always wanted to own a bar?
It didn't really come up until being a few years into working over at the Goat Tavern. Yeah, I was there 8 years, helped build that one. I was there for 8 years as a bartender, bar manager, but unfortunately things were going downhill there. This was base camp, and then it sat empty for a bunch of years. I think almost 7 years it was empty, other than couch critics up front. And that was after actually one of my worst days ever at the Goat. Well, the next day I basically got this place. It was like, yes, I'm in, I'm done over there. That was my chance to get out. Local kid that grew up here, a kid named Bobby Riedel. I saw some of his work. He actually lived next door to me in the condos where I'm at. In the condo where he lived, the master bedroom, he had painted a desert scene to where like your bed was just in the middle of the desert, like you were surrounded by the desert. It looked really cool. And then the bathroom he did in kind of like an aquarium style for the owner as well. So the bathroom looked like you were in an aquarium, but just the detail and the artwork was amazing. So I hired him, and it took him 8 Sundays. And I told him a couple things I wanted to see. I wanted to see the Blues Brothers somehow, Fox Theater, the Fist of Joe Louis, very iconic landmark of downtown Detroit. He got to interpret that in, and music. I just wanted music because the whole idea was, this place is excellent for music. It's got acoustics. Everybody loved playing here. And then you got the mural of music behind you. There's like 13 or 14 shadow players all behind. Your Billie Holiday hybrid, your Dizzy Gillespie. But yeah, the idea was just to have, my roots, because my mom's side of the family's from Chicago, my dad's side of the family's from Detroit. Lo and behold, we meet in the middle in Kalamazoo is where I come in, because it's 3 hours each way to Chicago or Detroit from Kalamazoo. It's literally the middle spot that way. St. Patrick's Day of 2015 was the unveiling. Some of the sandwiches and whatnot I started with early just were not well received. People weren't liking them. So then I had the idea of doing the mesquite barbecue, putting that together to do all the thin crust pizzas that we're still doing. But then the sushi was born out of just the idea that it was right after the time that alcohol bev control came after me for having music and all that. And I got shut down. I was going to court against them twice over, just the one douchebag neighbor complaining. I haven't been able to have a band since November of 17. So it's been over 4 years now since I last had a band here. And so it's kind of one of those things, how the hell am I going to get people to come here? Decided to go after sushi since there was none of that here in town, other than 1 day a week over at Lily's. Well, we need more than 1 day a week. So I just taught myself on YouTube. Graduate of the U of Tube. Go Reds.
Hey, thanks, John.
See you tomorrow.
How did the See You Tomorrow line happen?
Oh, that's just started at the Goat. It was just kind of natural that way, just joking with some of the regulars. Yep, see you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow. That's where I got the nickname Handsome John. Some girls there started calling me that, and then it just kind of grew a little bit, and then it was like, oh, let's have some fun with this. And then on the printout for your receipt, just under server name, I put that in and all that. You get some people thinking that Handsome was my last name, like that got printed first. Like they'd ask me, is your name John Handsome? No, just a nickname. Enjoy, man.
Find the miracle ball.
It's a good start for the documentary, me looking for my ball. It's like an Easter egg hunt. Every hole, usually for somebody. Today it's going to be me a lot, I'm afraid. Well, now we're at the point in the day where I'm not sure I brought enough cash for how much I'm going to lose today. It's 4.5 more holes of hell. Come, let's watch this horrible putt. Nah. Oh. Oh. Knees after par. Oh. Ah, sit. Oh. Oh, get in. Woo! All right. Finally got you something to use.
I was just gonna cut in all their good shots, but
Scotty, in the credits will give you credit for being my stunt double today with all your birdies. You're the guy that makes Tom Cruise look 5 feet tall. Oh, what a shot! Oh, there we go. Yes, I'd like to get a pizza to go, please. There we go.
Really?
Another number done.
Oh, wow. Closer, John. That's really cool.
As you can see, it's a mirror, but if you keep focused right there, some people think that it's a pass-through, that they're looking through those rectangle panes into the back room. And I've had a couple people walk up to the mirror and they're like, "Hey, can I get some food?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What do you need?" And they're like, "Holy shit." Anyways, it's been entertaining. Styles, who had base camp here, had warned me that there's ghosts in the building. That way, this place has ghosts. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, And I never saw anything like that. I never even really had like any feeling of hairs on the back of my neck standing up or feeling something. And I never experienced it. But James came through and he sees it. And the broom is just standing perfectly straight up. And for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then it just falls over. And James is like, "Nope." It just goes right back into Couch Critics, not having any part of it. Like, "I'll pee later." I just thought that was hilarious. "I'll pee later, not right now." That is their great-grandpa William Redmond. That is his hair. Family says that he would wear his hair like that because he could hold it and put one of his old-timey hats on, and then it looked like he had a full head of hair, even though he was bald as a cue ball outside, horseshoe bald. When my grandpa started the funeral home business, the Redmond Funeral Home business in Kalamazoo. And then my mom, her dad, worked at a rival funeral home. And apparently my grandpas did not like each other. It was like Romeo and Juliet kind of rivalry that way. Like my mom and dad meeting, like both dads frowned. It's still going strong. A lot of Catholics dying in Kalamazoo still, so. Yes, thank you. No doubt to all that. Anything you have to read in from emails or anything?
No, Mayor.
Okay. And at this point, we'll close the public comment, move on to council and staff comments. Yeah, I first ran in 2012, 2014 and 2016 I ran. 14 was out of anger because it took me 17 months to get this place open through all the red tape and governmental garbage that way. And then in 2016, there was just a lot of us on the ballot. I think there were 6 people going for 3 spots. But there were 3 Johns, John Adamson, John Stackfleth, John Redmond, running for council. And then I don't think some people knew that Handsome John was John Redmond and may have voted. They poached my votes just by, just having the same first name. Like probably some people guessing like, "Oh shit, which one's Handsome?" So I changed up the signs, put Handsome John Redmond, City Council. Then I finally win. Everybody knew who to vote for. Granted, I was running against a Jeffrey and a Tim. Anything above city councilor, you're pretty much dealing with prostitution. You're trying to keep too many people happy and all that. But at city level, you're just trying to make sure that the city doesn't just fall apart. And for me, my agenda is fix things. Fix the pipes, keep the fresh water coming in and the poop going out. It's pretty much my agenda. Just keep the pipes fixed for all that. And then, 2 years later was, got to have my turn as mayor. It's a nice little feather in the cap, something I set out to do and actually achieved.
Thank you. 7 years. Anyways, again, the thank you is all of you. After 7 years, you're the reason, and all the other people that couldn't be here. So thank you. Now it's photo time.
Well, what they pay me per month covers my golf membership, so it's gonna break even.
Hey, on this one, when he says 1, 2, 3, everybody say mayor.
This meeting is adjourned.
Good night.
And we will see you for a busy one in 2 weeks. Thank you, everybody. Pretty much, you gotta just be poor to live in paradise. Abstract poverty to enjoy paradise. Still making it, Well, luckily, I had one of my worst rounds in years recorded. I don't know if there can be any more of a first world problem. The shitty golf game. Well, just that and complaining about just everything when you're rich.